Ready to dominate at the plate? Blast Baseball is trusted by more major league and college teams than any other hitting solution. The Blast sensor attaches to the knob of any bat, providing real-time feedback with every swing. Go to blastmotion.com and enter code NOWD1 at checkout to save $25. All right, everybody, let's get right into it. I'm Alan Gay, and this is Now D1 Speaks. Hey, we got a great show tonight. We've got a 25 uncommitted prospect out of Texas. We have Landon Hankins with us. Hey, Landon, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, thank you so much for joining us. Really looking forward to tonight. Why don't you get it started and just kind of give us an idea of who you are? You know, let us know your GPA, the high school you go to, your travel team, and really, man, how'd you get into playing baseball?
First off, thank you for having me. And like you said, I'm a 2025 grad. Right now, I have a 4.0 high school GPA and a 3.4 college GPA. I go to Forney High School. And then travel ball, I played with Texans 17, 18U. I played upper grade. And then I started playing baseball when I was 3. My dad was big into it. And then growing up, I always watched stuff. A couple of my favorite players were Pudge and Beltre. Loved watching them play. And so Forney had a little league team. Joined that as soon as I could.
So been playing baseball a long time, since you were 3 years old. Man, that's awesome stuff right there. Your travel team, how did it end up that you were playing a grade up?
So I've always been the youngest on any team I played with because I always played my grade level, not my age. And so my birthday is not till June. So I'm 16 while the rest of my teammates and classmates are 17, turning 18. And that's just how I've always played. This next year is going to be my first year where I'm playing actual 16, 17U baseball. Man, that actually has worked out in your favor, you know? Yes.
So, yeah, you're going to have a great summer. Let me ask you about your high school team. How did you guys do last year, and kind of what's the expectation after you've completed the fall and thinking about the spring season?
Last year, we went about 2 rounds deep in the playoffs. And this coming up year, we're expected to have a pretty big year. We have a couple guys that moved in, really good arms on the mound. We have A&M commit that should be throwing later in the season. He just had Tommy John, but he should be coming back soon. So our goal, expectation is playoffs. We expect playoffs.
Yeah, I guess so, man. Fantastic year last year, and it sounds like you guys are really lined up to have a big year this year. So let me ask you something. What position do you play, or positions, and really what's your strengths? And maybe if there was just something you wanted to work on, what would it be?
Right now, I'm a main catcher. Fell in love with that when I was little. And I'll play third base anytime I need to. And then strength-wise, I think my IQ, like understanding the game, it's just come natural to me. And then going gap to gap, being able to use the entire field has been my biggest strength. Especially this past summer, I was able to get a lot of doubles, stretch singles, just by able to use the right side of the field. And then something I would want to work on would just getting up my arm velo. Because right now I'm sitting about 75 average from behind the plate, trying to get that up to 80.
Okay, good stuff right there. So give us some measurable. What's your height and weight?
Right now I am 5'7", 152.
What's your favorite thing about catching? If you just had to name one thing, what would it be?
I know what's going to happen. Like, of course, you don't know what's going to happen in the game of baseball. But I have an expectation, and especially with my pitchers, I've come to trust them a lot more, especially when I get to know the guys. And I like knowing what should happen, and especially when it doesn't work, I like having a backup plan. And so catching, I can see the whole field. I can see what's going on. I can kind of direct it.
Again, thinking about you playing just since you were 3, I mean, you obviously got into it earlier, really, really early. And you played up all this time, really a grade level due to your birthday being in June. Yes. So having really played at a high level, what is it that you're doing to stay motivated, to kind of push yourself and to kind of keep getting your skills better and better?
So growing up, I've always had a very competitive family. Like, both my parents were collegiate athletes. My mom, even after having 3 kids, she's a CrossFit. She's a coach and a competitor. And my biggest motivator has been my little sister, trying to stay ahead of her because she's a big Olympic weightlifter. So it's working out with her and then trying to stay ahead of her.
That's interesting. So how old is your sister?
She is 13. Or no, she's 14. Sorry.
She's 14. And when you say she's an Olympic weightlifter, what does that mean?
So you have traditional weightlifting, which is your deadlift, bench, your squat, and then you have the Olympic style weightlifting, that snatch and clean and jerk. And she's right now she is ninth in the nation, or no, she's third in the nation, ninth in the world for her weight class and age.
That's certainly impressive. And does she have a desire to really kind of push that as far as she can, as far as I'm talking about competing wise?
Oh yeah, she definitely does. She works out with a group called Forney Barbell, and they'll have a hunger that I really like to feed off of. I love going out and go do some basic compound lifts with them, and it's a really big family bit over there.
Man, I love that, Landon. All right, so you're spending a lot of time in the weight room as well. What's your favorite lift?
Probably back squat,
All right,
something I can max on.
all right. Well, tell us your max. What is your PR?
Right now, for one, I hit 415 a couple days ago.
Man, that's out. You're 16, weigh 152 pounds, and you back squatted 415.
Yes, sir.
That's big time stuff right there, Landon. Congratulations, man. I
Thank
mean,
you.
that's impressive. Since your sister's doing a lot of the Olympic weightlifting, do you do that or do you do more of just the traditional?
I like doing the traditional more because for me, there's less chance of injury and I can use more muscle with it. I always have my core braced. I'm always using any muscle fiber, and it's a better mind muscle connection for me.
Gotcha, man. Isn't it a big deal to kind of try to hit the like the 1,000 pound club?
Oh, yeah.
Well, where are you? You have to be adding that up. So how close are you, or have you already exceeded it?
Right now, honestly, I haven't added it up in about 6 months, so I'm not sure. But last time I was about 100, I was like 120 pounds away. I was hurt in my hand when I first added that up. So,
Hey, that's good. So it's really the back squat, it's the deadlift, and it's bench, right? It's just those three.
yes, sir.
Man, that's outstanding. You're well on your way, man. I tell you what, that's something that'll absolutely set you up for the next level. It is so much about strength, you know. And one of the great things about this show is we have the opportunity to interview lots of college coaches as well. And I'm always interested in what they would say to high schoolers about what are some things that you should be doing now to prepare to be at the next level. And I got to tell you, Landon, every single one of them starts out with be in the weight room. You got to get in the weight room, man, because when you show up, you're going to be competing against men. You need to be strong because it just shows up immediately whether you have the strength or not. And you are absolutely on the right track with that. I am so impressed. Thank you for kind of sharing that about your sister. And then it just kind of really led into what it is that you're doing because you're doing a fantastic job.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And that ever since I was able to talk to a college coach, I've heard that. And I'm not the tallest guy. I'm not the biggest guy. So getting big in the weight room has always been on top of my board.
Hey, man, they always say it, you know, your body's your billboard. And I'm sure they're able to pick up on that quickly once they start getting around you. So that's big time stuff, man. Hey, well, let's talk about something like memorable moments and achievements. Yeah, again, 3 years old to 16, man. You've been on the baseball field 13, 14 years. I got to believe you've had a lot of big moments. If there was one thing in particular, maybe what would it be? And if you could even go a little bit further and kind of tell us what you learned from it.
13, 14 years, there's so many that come to mind. But I think the biggest one for me was we had just moved to a new town and it switched from U-Trip ball, which is what we play here, to Little League rules. And it's a completely different ball game. I was 11 playing against 13-year-olds. And I got put on a team. These were honestly some of the best teammates I had, but they were all new. It was a team full of new players and people that had just moved in that the coaches there didn't really know. And so I had honestly one of my best seasons. I was always big with stats as a little kid. So I hit 650 on the season. And it was one of my first years in kid pitch. So I was really happy with that. And I was catching a lot. Threw a couple guys out that season, which was the first time ever. Because I was really young. If you ever watch Little League games, that's the thing. Steals are almost guaranteed. I was able to kind of change that with the new rules. And then I had a coach come up to me right before we did our quote-unquote all-star draft. and he told me that he had to play rock, paper, scissors with the other coaches and win to pick me on his team. And he told me that I was able to stand out. And it was the first time that another coach outside of my family truly complimented me. And it was the first time I felt my work has finally paid off. And then I sadly had to break the news that I was going to move in 2 weeks back to my hometown.
That is so cool. That's a great story, though. And what a confidence builder, man. Anytime somebody else recognizes the talent and the effort that you're putting in, man, it lifts you up and spurs you on. You know what I'm saying? What was that coach's name, or do you remember?
It was Coach Hankins in Lake, Texas.
I love that. And then I think another thing that was really kind of cool, one of the first things you said was, I had great teammates. What made, and I know they were unbelievably skilled, they were good, but what made them great teammates?
It was a very big community. Like, it was a small town. I think the class of 25 there was about 65 guys, but it was a group of 10, and we did absolutely everything together. And they were people that I could talk to. They helped me with homework, and we'd go have fun outside of the baseball field. But when we got to the field, it was truly time to work. And then that constructive criticism, it was really good, but at the same time, we could have fun, we could work, and we could get better.
Hey, I just want to thank everyone that's been able to join this evening. Thank you so much for the support of Now D1, and thank you for the support of Landon Spence as well. I mentioned earlier that we have an opportunity to interview many college coaches, and then, of course, we interview uncommitted prospects as well. We've really created a pretty cool dynamic where coaches have an opportunity to talk about what it is they're looking for and what their program offers. And then uncommitted prospects have an opportunity to really talk about themselves, not only the accomplishments they've had on the field, but who they are off the field, their makeup. And it really is impressive to college coaches. They want to hear about the makeup. If this is something that you're interested in and you'd like to be a part of the show, probably the easiest way to get in touch with me is through X, formerly known as Twitter. Just reach out to me. My handle is @now_D1. Just send me a DM. I'm sure we'll be able to work out some type of schedule. Hey, tonight we're talking with 25 uncommitted prospect Landon Hankins. He is a catcher out of Texas. So Landon, right off the bat, man, you started talking about your GPA when you were introducing yourself, and your GPA is outstanding. I got to say, how have you really been able to balance your academic and baseball career and been successful in both?
So I was fortunate enough growing up. My parents were really strict on my academics. And so it was always homework, then baseball. And that really translated when I got to high school and started being more independent about my work. And so that was the biggest thing, was having a schedule and actually sticking to it. That's been my biggest part, especially doing college classes online. Those have been tough, but I've tried to stay on schedule the best I can.
Man, that's outstanding. Time management is what it's all about. So you're doing college classes online. Are you dual enrolled?
It's called dual credit at my school. It's Dallas Community College is what it's through. And I have a class period set every single day that I can take other courses, and it will give me a high school credit and college credit.
Man, that is outstanding. That is so smart. Is this year your first year doing that?
It's my second year, and I have almost 2 semesters worth of college credits.
Congratulations, man. That is really, really smart. Are you on pace to potentially have maybe your AA at the same time as you graduate from high school?
No, sir, because my school, they limit how many I can take per year, which is completely understandable. But I would have to start freshman year taking 2 college classes every year, and then summer courses as well, which I couldn't do. And I felt I couldn't succeed in everything I wanted to.
That's understandable. I got that 100%. But I tell you what, man, that's going to help you so much in college. You're going to have a tremendous head start. Really, really smart. Very impressive, Landon. Yeah, absolutely. I know you were talking about Coach Hines just a little bit earlier, but I am interested if he was the particular player or coach that's really been influential in your development, or maybe if there was somebody else as well.
He was definitely one when I was younger, but these past couple of years, especially as soon as I hit high school, I was doing band, tennis, and baseball all at the same time. And so it was a lot, especially coming in as a freshman. So I had he wasn't exactly an upperclassman. He's a year older than me. His name's Eli Benavides. He was my teammate, and he was also in band with me. And he's helped me a lot in everything, weight room, classroom. I'm very religious, my family is, so he's helped me in my faith too. But especially on the baseball field and the weight room, he's helped me a lot.
Man, that's impressive. I'm glad you recognize that. And you need people. I mean, it sounds like your parents are absolutely supportive of you, and they're helping guide you and lead you in the direction that you need to go, not only in the classroom, but spiritually and certainly on the athletic field as well. But you also need you need your peers. You need people that can really kind of hold you accountable and further those types of relationships as well. Sounds like Eli's a big time guy, man. That you're associating yourself with really good people.
I try to, because everybody's heard the quote, "Show me your 5 friends, I can show you your future." So I'm really trying to surround myself with better people.
Absolutely, Landon. That's a great quote right there, man. So let me ask you, when you're getting ready to play a game, what is it that you do to really get your mind right? Do you have any pregame rituals, or are you you just like a routine where maybe you're doing the same thing over and over?
So I have my pregame routine. Like for catching, I'll stretch, I'll do weighted ball drills, and I'll pitch. But before I even walk out on the field, I try to listen to music. And I don't like listening to like heavy stuff right before I play. Maybe on the field with my teammates, but while I'm in the car on the way to a game or something, I try to kind of relax. So I used to get really tense before a game, but now I try to relax. And then a big thing for me is I give my mom a kiss on the cheek, because it's something I've always done. And I feel, I don't know, it's part of your routine. And our favorite saying in my family is "don't suck." Everybody says it to everybody before something. We say it to my sister before a meet, my mom before a competition, and even to my other sister right before she dances. It's just something in my family we've always done.
I like that, man. That's something that you can definitely count on. And the reality of it is, instantly when you said that, it kind of made me put everything in perspective. You know what I mean? This is not life or death, what you're going out there and doing. That's a great way. I love that routine, man. Let's talk about your own goals too, and I'm just thinking, what are some really short-term goals that you may have personally? And then maybe what is it that you're thinking about a little bit longer term, maybe, over the next 3 to 5 years?
So short-term, like really short-term, within like the next 6 months, I want to get my average pop time to sub 2.1, because right now my average is a 2.12. Has been my average pop time. So I really want to get to under 2.1, and then under 2 is going to be by senior year is my biggest goal. And then to hit 400 on this next coming season, to bat 400 plus. But long term, I really want to make an impact for this high school team, because this is our last year as a 5A team. My senior year, we're going to be a 6A team going up against much better competition, and our district is really tough. Especially 6A, we're going to be playing against what we call power teams in Texas. So like Highland Park, Rockwall Heath is the biggest one. So I want to make an impact, a positive impact for sure, for my high school team, and then any summer ball team I play with.
Big time goals right there, man. I love the way you're talking. So if you're talking pulling your pop time down, what are you doing maybe specifically in regards to training to do that?
Right now, it's like we said earlier, it's a bunch of the little stuff. So of course I'm doing throwing program, trying to get my arm speed up. But my biggest thing right now is my footwork. So every other day when I'm doing catching drills, I have like a speed ladder and I have mini hurdles that I'll do footwork in, and that really helps me narrow it down to little minor adjustments. And then my exchange, do it with weighted balls, do it a million times.
It's good, man. I love that you're working on that. And, hey, and thinking a little bit long term, I know you're thinking about playing at the next level as well. And, one of the things as I think about your GPA and the academic work you're doing as well, when you are thinking about the next level, have you kind of decided on a major, or are you still open to that?
Right now, my major, and this has been like ever since I was about 13, I really could. Athlete recovery and kinesiology. It's like the study on how the body moves has been my big thing, and I really want to make. A lot of schools have majors in kinesiology and athlete recovery, so that would be my big major.
I think that's a fantastic field of study right there. I mean, I love that. It makes a lot of sense, especially with all the work that you're doing on your body. And that'll really translate well when it comes time to help others. That's good. I love that. Hey, again, everyone that's been able to join the podcast tonight, thank you so much. Absolutely appreciate it. The podcast is now D1 Speaks, and it is on every major platform that's out there: YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, all the independents, and we certainly appreciate your support. Thank you for listening. We would love it if you would subscribe and then really give us a rating. A 5-star rating would certainly go a long way. Hey, this evening we're speaking with Landon Hankins. He is an uncommitted catcher out of the state of Texas. He's a 25. Let's keep talking a little bit about the next level. In order to get there, you really need to be recruited. And, I'm curious as to maybe what your experience so far has been with recruiting. You're kind of early in the process. Some of the rules have changed, but you're a 25. And I'm just curious as to how things are going and maybe how your process has been so far.
Like you said, I'm really early into it. So I've gotten mail and emails and messages from a few colleges, but no big offers as of yet. But I'm really just looking for a school that helps me grow as a player and a team that I can make an impact for.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You're doing it the right way already. No doubt about it. Are you reaching out on your own, maybe sending some email, videos, anything like that?
Yes, so I've been sending a lot of emails because it's easier for me to put thoughts into word in email. But recently I've started more on X or Twitter, started reaching out more, getting more video, getting more film, trying to almost grow a portfolio.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. That's good. Congratulations, man. You're doing everything the right way. I have no doubt about that. Yeah, I got to tell you, man, I have really, really enjoying this evening, getting to know you and who you are. I'm just impressed with you all the way around. I mentioned earlier, I mean, you have the family support, you've got coaching support, you've got friends support. I mean, I said parent, obviously your sisters as well. So the entire family. And that's what it takes. And then you're doing things right in the classroom. You've got the GPA already. You're knocking it out, taking college courses online, just kind of thinking proactively, what it's going to take for you to be successful. And then you're also working out in the weight room and doing it the right way. I mean, you're squatting 415 pounds already. I mean, as a 16-year-old, I mean, that's big time stuff. And we kind of joked about the 1,000-pound club, but you're well on the way to not only hitting that mark, but eclipsing that mark. And that's the stuff that coaches are really looking for. Somebody that's kind of able to push themselves and get themselves stronger. And then, of course, you're taking your own initiative to improve your pop time. That's just a goal that you set out there. You're already fantastic, 2.12. I mean, that's impressive right there already. But you've got it in your mind what a goal would be. And so you're working on your own exchanges, your own footwork, doing all these things on your own. I mean, you are absolutely putting yourself in a position to be successful. And so I've really thoroughly enjoyed this evening, and I hope you've enjoyed it as well.
Yes, sir, I'd have, and thank you.
Yeah, for sure. I'd kind of like to wrap it up. And one of the questions that I just absolutely love is, maybe kind of looking at guys that are younger than you. And I'm thinking it was really an influential time for you when you were talking about the teammates that you had when you were 11 years old. If you had an opportunity to maybe talk to guys that are finishing up Little League, they're 11 or 12 years old and they're about to move on to a bigger field. And they're really good at baseball, and they want to be good for as long as they can be good. What kind of advice would you give them?
So I've actually had the pleasure and opportunity to help coach some teams out in the local 4A league. And something that I was always told and something that I try to pass on is keep going. Just don't stop. Because the way I was told, the way I've always been taught that life is and how baseball is, it's like a train. You just got to keep going because when you stop, it's so much harder to get back going. And then surround yourself with the people who you want to be. Like me personally, I try to surround myself with people that are getting offers, people that have offers, people that play in college. So I try to surround myself with better people, and that's how I always try to pass that on.
Man, I got to tell you, that's big time advice right there. That's really, really good advice to young guys. And it sounds like that's advice you've taken yourself and really kind of put into practice.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Well, Landon, again, thank you so much for taking some time and hopping on. Really enjoyed getting to know you. And I'm looking forward to just kind of watching how your career progresses and the success that I know is coming your way.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And with that, I think it's probably a perfect time for us just to say goodnight. Hey, let me ask you something. Are you ready to dominate at the plate this season? Blast Baseball is the #1 hitting improvement solution, trusted by more major league, college, and travel ball teams than any other. The Blast sensor attaches to the knob of any bat, providing real-time feedback with every swing. Metrics are automatically sent to a smartphone app, generating insights that allow you to analyze and improve your hitting like never before. Go to blastmotion.com and enter code NOWD1 and you will save $25 at checkout. Unlock your potential with Blast.